Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick, founder of Herbal 411 and the Dr. Rick Hiking Excursions. And I wanted to announce the 2025 Dr. Rick Hiking Excursion. The reason I wanted to do it now in the middle of this snowstorm is because we'll be going to Mount Rainier. So Mount Rainier is, everybody knows it from around the world. It's in Seattle, Washington. You have to fly into Seattle-Tacoma International. It's about an hour and a half to the outlying camps or places to stay. This is on the southern part of Mount Rainier. If you open up a Google map, area is called Paradise. That's where the biggest hotel is, and there's an old pristine national park lodge there. Really cool to stay, but super expensive. And it's not that pretty. I mean, it is cool to be in a national lodge and be where other people have stayed for the eons that place has been open. So I'll be staying at the Gateway Inn. It's right outside the gates to Sunrise. And the gentleman, the Japanese owner, he's a beautiful guy. He doesn't overprice. He's right outside the gates to get into the park. I think he's reasonable. He's about the third of the price of renting a place at the Paradise Inn. I want everybody to experience national parks because people think I'm crazy for doing 12 to 14,000 feet and hiking at places at altitudes that not too many humans make it to, but it's a destination. I call it an anchor event, and I've done videos on anchor events on my YouTube channel. And by the way, if this is the first time you're finding me, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and or liking the video or sharing it with somebody else who is trying to make a lifestyle change. I did this back in 2009, did my first marathon. I thought I'd see what a yoga instructor would be able to do in marathon running, and I ended up not doing the marathon. I finished, but I only went halfway, and I walked from 13 miles to the end. That's another 13 miles. And I ended up doing that twice, 2009, 2010. And I actually fell in love with the hiking part, the walking part. So I had the endurance, and I thought I'd translate that to taking it to 14,000 feet just to, because I have testosterone and I like challenging myself. But, you know, we don't have to do that. Anyway, Rainier has always been one of the national parks I wanted to go to. And I did go scout out last year. It was cool. But just the reason why I'm picking the weekend after Labor Day falls on a Monday this year. I believe it's a third. But if you pick the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right after that, that's when you do not need to win a lottery to get in to Rainier. Last year they started holding lotteries. They wanted to keep the traffic down on the park trails. And it probably worked out, but I've already spoken to one of the park rangers, and they couldn't tell me they're going to do it again, but most likely they will. And it goes from, you have to win a lottery, so you have to win a bid. It's just too much of a pain in the butt to do that, especially if I was trying to go with a bunch of people and reserve a hotel. Can't do that if it's chance. So the lottery usually goes, well, last year went from Memorial Day to Labor Day. This year probably the same thing, but day after Labor Day, the weekend after, the crowd dies down and they stop it then. So hopefully same thing happens. However, the reason I'm going to do, or I wanted to do the video in this snowstorm, and that's Mallard Lake out there, by the way. The reason I want to do it in the snowstorm is because one of the hikes that I will try to endure with whoever goes with me goes from Sunrise, which is about 2,000 feet, up to John Muir Camp in Rainier, and that's about 10,000 feet. And the thing is, to get to, I think it's 8,000. To get past 8,000, you have to have crampons and ice axe and clothing to endure cold. Because even in September, even in July, it's snowing up there at that altitude because it's so far north. So, just for the one hike up to John Muir Base Camp, you'll have to bring equipment, and you'll have to be well versed with transitioning from regular trail to snow. So those of you who went with me to Mount Whitney, you guys know what snow's like. That was 12,000 feet. No, that was 12,000 feet to camp and then 14,000 feet to summit, which most of us did. And we enjoyed just the camaraderie and the attempt at it. So sometimes it's not even that we summit or not, it's just that you're out in wilderness doing something that's a bucket lister and with other people that are also trying to get healthy. I'm opening this up to mostly members of my medical practice, annual members, but if you are not part of my practice, you can still come to our monthly training routines. I'll have one in about 2 weeks. I'll usually have to have everybody sign up on Facebook, Dr. Rig Hiking Excursions, because I'll announce where the hike will be for the workout of the month, and then I'll announce the time. I'll give you 15 minutes till after the time is up, and then we take off as a group. If you're not there, tough. You have to be there early. I'm the hiking leader, so you have to be there when I'm ready to go with everybody else. And you have to be prepared, and that usually means you have to have a phone, you have to have the right clothing and warmth, and some water and food. But usually my hikes take about 2 to 3 hours, so on a Sunday most likely. So I'll start announcing. Get on the Facebook Dr. Rig Hiking Excursions page, sign up, and then you'll see when I post anything new. If you're not a hiker, but you know somebody who really wants to make a lifestyle change and get out, please share this with them and maybe go with them and encourage their change in life. So I think the only way to take care or ensure our chances of longevity in a disease-free state is to invest. And my annual members to my practice, I have a virtual practice in integrative medicine. My annual members know the value of having an annual physical, but also with that annual wellness exam, having an algorithm designed so you can deploy changes. If you just have a physical annually and it's just to give you refills on medications and tell you your vitamin D level is still low or your cholesterol is still high, here, start a statin, that's unacceptable. I don't have a problem with starting statins or getting stress tests or checking for hemoglobin A1C, but got to take the next step. If we're going to be your coach, if I'm going to be your coach, it has to be not only evaluating the weaknesses and the problems, but also coming up with solutions on how to reverse that. Otherwise, it's only a matter of time before what you found will come to fruition as a heart attack, cancer, or neurodegenerative disorder. And I don't want that for anybody. So know what you be your own advocate for your own health. Ask your doctors for referrals if they don't do anything for you, or come join my practice. So enough of that soapbox, but just to enjoy nature, come out to one of the training routines or hikes for this year's Mount Rainier hiking excursion. I'll put more information out on the Facebook page, but I'll give it to you when we meet up on our monthly hiking excursions or training routines. Thanks for watching up to this point in time. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section down below. Again, if you are a previous hiker that have been with me to an excursion, put your experience and the fun that you might have had or the life change that you noticed when you came back from an excursion and what you've been able to maintain with till today, and maybe you can inspire other people and myself. Thanks for watching. See you at the next video. And then you can also work out in the gym. I think, whoa! Oh, almost slipped there. I'm on the lake now.